Seth, I read somewhere that you've undergone something of a makeover recently that was kind of inspired by Ed Sheeran and Beyonce.
I mean, I just didn't want to look like shit next to Charlize.
But you don't!
Exactly. Mission accomplished.
Seth,
Yo.
Charlize,
Hi.
welcome to London.
Thank
you.
you.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah. This hotel's
For the
lovely.
4 hours that
Yeah,
we're there.
exactly. I've not yet seen daylight.
outside.
Yeah.
So I'm lucky enough to have already seen the film, but let's pretend that I haven't.
Cool.
Why should I and everyone else go see this movie?
Because we're in it.
We're in it. That's it.
Sold.
Hopefully, because it's good. I think it's good. It's funny. It
People
will make
seem to
you.
like it.
People like it. You will emotionally. It will resonate with you both emotionally and on a comedic level.
Yes, it's romantic and really
Yeah.
funny.
It's romantic
It
and
is.
hilarious. Yeah.
Not a lot of movies can say that.
No,
so.
we did
That
it.
is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not liars.
I would never accuse you of being
No.
biased. Seth, this is the second film of yours to have a strong political message. Is this something that you find yourself wanting to be more involved in? Because I'm well up for a Seth Rogen revolution.
Exactly. I don't think this movie has a strong political message, honestly.
I really think it does.
I think the idea of what is sad and unfortunate is that showing a woman become president is a strong political message, I guess. It shouldn't be. It should be normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's, and I think to us, it so should be normal that it was not viewed as like controversial as we were doing it at all.
No.
And I think mostly what, as we made the movie, became clear is that it was a very like good opportunity to make jokes and comedy out of what's happening today in a way that hopefully just everyone could appreciate, which I think there hasn't been a lot of, I think, just like there hasn't been a lot of movies at least that have been talking about like the world as it is today. So it just became we realized we're like, oh, we could be the first to kind of make jokes about this stuff and hopefully do it in a way again where it isn't alienating, but just shows the audience that movies are being made by people who live in the world that they live in.
I think that
was a long, boring answer. But you have 2 spots, so I don't feel good. That was a 2-spot answer.
I was like, keep on coming.
Yeah,
keep
exactly.
On going.
Yeah. I'll eat up your whole shit with
Charlize, your character, Charlotte, is such a strong and inspirational woman. And in general, like I said, the film has
As
a
a
political
woman, you were
message.
inspired by her?
Very, very inspired. When you take on a role like this, do you immediately realise the impact a role like Charlotte can have on people? And touching on what Seth said, how important is it for these sorts of things to be discussed in films a lot more regularly?
I don't think I compartmentalize it so much as like what is important for me to kind of carry as a message versus I have a real allergic reaction to things not being truthful. And maybe they're the same thing. I think maybe they are. Yeah, it irks me when I'm asked to do something or when I read something that just doesn't feel like it taps into anything that I know. And so I think there's a part of that definitely, yeah. I mean, I don't want my movies to ever feel like I'm trying to get people to take medicine. I want people to have a good time. I want them to engage in the storytelling. I want them to be moved. I want them to laugh. I want them to feel things versus just, maybe trying to carry a message on my sleeve.
Yeah. That's what documentaries are for.
That is true. And I love them. And I love them.
They're great.
And they inspire
They
me.
can do a lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a slightly lighter note, if you were sworn...
Yeah, why do you give me all this
Yeah,
serious
exactly.
funny stuff? He gets all the funny
Go
stuff.
on.
This is for you,
Yeah,
Charlize. If you were sworn in as president tomorrow, Charlize, what is the first law or rule that you would enforce?
Oh gosh. Well, first of all, that would never happen. So
I'd vote
in
for
this
you.
fantasy, if that
This
were
nightmarish
in this
fantasy.
night-
You would
depending
be
on how you
a
see
terrible
it,
dictator.
I would be a terrible. I would be a terrible any kind of
Yes,
political leader.
you would lead with a strong fist.
I don't think I would. That
No.
would be the problem too. I would say it would be food related for sure.
Food-related
Yeah.
laws.
It would be food
Yeah.
related laws for sure. It
Grilled
would involve
cheese.
more cheese.
Yeah. Grilled
Yeah.
cheese, mandated grilled cheese sandwiches would be a good
Have you tried oat milk?
I have tried oat milk.
It's great, isn't it?
It's
What
not
is oat
bad.
milk?
It's milk made from oats. It's like almond milk. Have you tried pea milk?
Do you have some milk?
There's pea
Is that
milk
a jo-
now. No.
Oh,
pea
right.
milk. Yeah, no, there's pea milk.
That sounds horrible. It sounds like pea milk.
But
you
there
know
is,
that, right?
yes, pea milk. It's two words that do not belong together.
No.
But it creates a good drink.
Disgusting.
Pea and milk. Yeah. What's weird is it's made from milking pea, not peas.
I'm trying it.
You guys are so stupid. Seriously.
Steph, the chemistry between you two is so great.
Clearly.
And you, as mentioned. I heard that you didn't want to make this movie unless Charlize was on board. Is that true?
That is true. I mean, yeah, I couldn't. There was no one else I could think of that would
No
be
one
good
else
in
was
it.
just-
Yeah, that
was
would maybe be
available.
willing to work with me. I thought her standards seemed low enough
Oh
to
my God.
perhaps be in this film, which was good. She made some questionable choices, and I thought, oh yeah, she seems like maybe. No, it was.
It's true. He
No,
sussed me out. He found my weakness.
yeah, we could trick her.
He said, "Let's make a good movie together." I
yeah,
was in.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was a huge fan, and was excited that she would even consider working with us. And then we went on a very long process where I just tried to not have her quit.
Charlize, there are loads of moments in this romantic comedy where you guys do a lot of kissing. Is it true that you used to practice kissing in front of the mirror?
Yeah, but when I said that, everybody made me feel really weird about it. Like
That's
something
not
is
that weird.
wrong with. But everybody reacted a little bit like I was crazy. I thought that's just what all teenagers. Did you do that? Please tell me you did
Yeah, I
that.
did.
No, you did.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. And did you practice on the?
The butt of your arm.
I've never done the butt of the arm, but I'm not ashamed to say, yeah, I've kissed.
I think I practiced on the butt of my arm.
You say that?
Well, I was shamed. I was shamed. I saw how shamed you were, and I was like, I don't want to get in on that. Let her take the shame on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I did what I think a lot of teenagers do. I would hope to think.
Yeah.
Right? You need to see it in order to. I don't know. I'm not going to over. I
Yeah,
wanted
fair
to
point.
just make sure that it didn't look gross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seth, I read somewhere that you've undergone something of a makeover recently that was kind of inspired by Ed Sheeran and Beyonce.
I mean, I just didn't want to look like shit next to Charlize.
But you don't!
Exactly. Mission accomplished. Yeah, I mean that was it, and it is because of that image I have in my head of Ed Sheeran in what looks like his pajamas next to Beyonce in like a beautiful yellow gown, and I thought like, man, she really put in the effort, and this dude rolled out of bed.
So, you both end up in some pretty intense situations in this film. What is the most intense situation or encounter you've had with a fan? Are we talking like tattoos of you?
I've never seen a tattoo of me.
I've seen tattoos of my head on
Yeah.
people, which is insane.
What's your reaction?
Where did you see it? Did somebody show it
Online, I've been
You
like
went
on
online and
Instagram.
Googled
No. Like I will be tagged like on Instagram or Twitter. Someone will send me like, "Hey,
Okay.
look, I got a tattoo of your face on my arm." Yeah, and
to you? God.
it's crazy. I
Yeah.
think it's crazy. Yeah, and I would not advise people to do it. You probably will regret it. I might do something terrible one day that will make that a real blemish. You have to bear the brunt of my actions.
Yeah.
This is a terrible situation to put yourself in. Yeah,
It's a risky one.
it's a risky one. Get her.
Yeah, the other hand, not even
I
just a
wouldn't do
tattoo.
that
Or
either.
Charlize tattoo.
Just
I
like
would not do
an
that.
encounter or something.
Listen, yeah, you open that door on your own risk.
Exactly. You have to live with what
Yeah,
she does.
exactly.
And finally, my favourite scene in the movie is the day after the night before, where Charlotte has to sort out a hostage situation. So my final question is, what is the worst thing you've ever had to do whilst hungover? To both. Take your time.
I would say a press junket.
Yeah, press. Yeah, I've done press pretty
Yeah.
in questionable circumstances, I would say. Yeah. And I'm glad that no one was aware of it.
So you hope.
So I hope.
So
No,
you
yeah, there's
hope.
been some interviews where I've just been like, did that seem normal? Oh, yeah. I'm like, wow, crazy, great.
I really want to
Fantastic,
just
yeah.
ask more about that specific
Oh, yeah.
situation.
No, it's like I won't tell you more.
Well, hopefully this press junket has been
It's been a
enjoyable.
delight.
That we are sober.
Yes.
are
Very
sober for
lucid.
this one.
Relatively lucid.